Los Angeles, it's the place where dreams are made. The place where Deborah's dream is made.
And where our dreams have been made.
Yeah.
No offense to New York.
This is late night, and yes, I am a woman. Pretending to host a late night show is just a lot of fun. The job is harder than it looks.
Because Deborah is taking on this massive thing while dealing with the tension between her and Ava, she finds herself in a much more vulnerable place.
If you take your first step on stage with your left foot, you'll have a better show.
While we were breaking the episode, we came up with the sound design of the heartbeat. Paul did such a beautiful job directing it, especially in the way that the camera is constantly moving.
Sort of a motif in the show is following behind Deborah as she gets off stage or as she gets to stage. And this was sort of the answer to that. We are leading Deborah and we're watching her face. To be the first woman at 11:30 on a major network, I think for her, she's like, oof, this is a lot. Our production designer, Rob Tokars, did an amazing job with the late night set. It's in some ways a throwback to the classic late night set of the day, but also it's very Deborah. Behind her is the cityscape, first of Las Vegas and then of Los Angeles. You also see lights that echo the marquee lights that are all over Las Vegas, particularly down in Old Vegas. And then there's a lot of Art Deco elements that speak to the Los Angeles of it all. One of the things we wanted to do was show how epic it is to mount a show. So we really wanted to feature a lot of our crew, the actual construction workers, the actual designers, the actual set decorators. We filmed the actual wig maker who makes the wigs for Deborah Vance. Every single strand of hair is sewn into a piece of lace. It's crazy the amount of work that goes into something that hopefully you don't even notice because you're supposed to make it look effortless and easy.
Deborah walks into a pristine waiting room where she notices Carol Burnett sitting and reading a magazine.
I don't know if you remember me, Deborah Vance.
Of course.
Our show is about celebrating women in comedy, and what greater icon is there than Carol Burnett? She is a big inspiration for the show.
Goo Goo Gaga's a little more accessible. Copy. Thank you so much.
I had worked with Carol before, so I was thrilled when she came on the show. I hope I'm half as sharp as she is at 91. What are you in for?
Nothing, I just think the doctor's a hunk.
Hello, you hunk.
Jean's not someone who's asking someone for a photo, but Jean wanted to take photos with Carol.
We talked about the theater. I had just seen Once Upon a Mattress on Broadway, and I could see how that show made Carol a star.
For Deborah, there's so few people she could look to and say, well, you've had a similar experience to me. And she gives her really beautiful advice.
I would pick one person in the audience and I would do the show just for them.
It does come from real life because I used to do live comedy and no one would be laughing but Lucia. And I'd be like, it's fine, whether it's because she loves me or not. I know she does.
It was funny.
We've been working late nights the whole week.
Well, only 198 shows left this year, so.
Rose fake laughs politely, but it sounds like her soul is leaving her body.
Why don't you guys go home and get some sleep?
They all get up fast and get the fuck out.
Anytime that there's like a big event afterwards, you have expectations of what the celebration will be. And in this episode, Deborah thinks she'll be with the guests and Ava thinks she'll be with her writers. And it doesn't quite go that way.
Hey, hi, sorry, can I please cut you? It's an emergency. Paul just said, Hannah, do something funny. Give me that big cock, the huge one. Please, it's an emergency, sorry. I'm gonna lube it all up then. Gonna put it all over there. Gonna slide it.
So you...
What do you think? I went into the parking lot and then shoved this thing inside me with the plastic still on and came back in like a sex-crazed, public masturbating maniac who's tight on funds? No. I don't know, that just kind of came out of some deep part of my soul.
For Deborah, she's looking for a little bit of an emotional pick-me-up.
Damien and Deborah arrive at the WeHo Club.
Look who brought Deborah Vance to the club.
The gays are gagging for Deborah.
She gets kind of like the love and adulation she was wanting after the show and accidentally doing poppers by a crazed fan.
I think they enjoyed me making a complete ass of myself on occasion.
When Ava gets a phone call that Deborah has hurt herself, she rushes in.
There you are.
When times are tough, there's no way that at least Ava isn't going to be there for Deborah, but I think Deborah would be there for Ava too.
Just like Deborah was there for her when Ava had her cyst rupture.
You had an ovarian cyst that burst.
Oh, Jesus.
But you're gonna be okay.
The universe ultimately does bring them together.
They should be together. And it is interesting that it's in a hospital because their relationship needs CPR. You know, that's the thing that needs the most medical attention.
They've just done this huge thing, getting the show off the ground. They should be celebrating with each other.
Congratulations. You too.
At the end of episode 4, we chose a song, Bless the Telephone, which is by Labi Siffre. That song makes me weep every time I hear it. It's so good.
Song.
We also used a song of his last season in the bodega when Ava sees the champagne bottle.
Nothing around, just the trees and the ground. There's a bird in a tree.
So it did feel kind of apropos to be a moment of connection, even though it's not a full reconciliation, to use that artist's work again.
Randy Newman performs I Love L.A.
My good friend Randy Newman, ladies and gentlemen!
In this episode, having Randy Newman come and sing I Love L.A. was a really powerful moment, I think.
We wanted to dedicate this episode to the people who suffered through the wildfires.
We filmed the last 3 seasons in a house in Altadena.
Whoa. Whose house is this?
Mine.
And that house was lost to the wildfires, one of many.
And the neighborhood of Altadena has been a home to our shooting and has really welcomed us and has been a big part of our show. And so from the very first moment to the very end of the episode, it is a love letter to Los Angeles. Whether it's at a gay club or at a sex shop or at a bar, it is a place where we feel supported. We just love making our show here in LA.